Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here. Welcome to another episode of What's Hot with Sea Tranquility. That's right, it's Wednesday, new product review day today. We've got a handful of ones to bring to you during the course of the day today. So strap yourselves in, stay tuned for this and other episodes to come today. Some new album reviews. First, we're going to take a look at a cool reissue, which just came out recently on, let's see, we got Universal, Virgin, Charisma Records. It is the first solo album from this particular gentleman, released February 15th, 1980, originally for the Charisma label, produced by David Henschel, and now seeing a nice little reissue. The debut solo album from Genesis' Mike Rutherford, Smallcreep's Day. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate that. Nice to get a brand spanking new copy of Smallcreep's Day, one of the great solo albums from members of these prominent 70s prog bands, right? Well, definitely one that I've always liked quite a bit. And this features Mr. Rutherford on guitars, basses, and other assorted things. Anthony Phillips, okay, originally from Genesis, back one of the founding members, originally their guitar player. He comes back for this album to assist his old buddy Mike on keyboards. You got Noel McCalla on vocals. You've got Simon Phillips, got two Phillips, two for the price of one here, on drums, and Morris Pert on production. And like I said, this is produced by David Henschel, who worked with Genesis on Duke, and then there were three. So, in speaking of those two albums, this album stylistically to me, is not that much different than what Genesis were doing on both those albums, and specifically the Duke album. I hear a lot of kind of similarities in the way the album sounds and feels. Lots of really nice keyboards, lots of nice melodies. You've got on the original vinyl, which takes up the first half of the CD, you've got the epic length title track, Smallcreep's Day. And again, this is based, the story behind this song is based on a book that Mike Rutherford had read about this gentleman, Mr. Smallcreep, who had worked in this factory for like 40 years. You know, he's getting on in age and he's trying to kind of find himself. And he goes through the factory and just really starts looking at, everything, how it works in the factory, and the whole assembly line sort of thing, and kind of puts his life into perspective in a similar type of way. And it's made up of 7 different parts to it. It's very Genesis-y sounding. One thing I will note on this album is I think the vocals of Noel McCalla are tremendous. He's really, really good. Fits this album perfectly. And like I said, you've got the epic length title track that's on side 1 of the original vinyl. It's made up of some really interesting musical passages, and it flows quite nicely. I will say, tremendous keyboard work from Anthony Phillips on this album. Really, really good. If you kind of close your eyes, you'd think you were hearing Tony Banks from Genesis playing on here. Really, really good. The certain sections of the song, which I love a lot, like Out in the Daylight, is absolutely tremendous. It's got these really cool keyboard solos that would have sounded right at home on Duke, and then there were 3, or any album from that late 70s period in Genesis. And then, so the title track is very, very progressive rock of its day, right? It's definitely melodic, but it's got a lot of little intricacies, a lot of layers and stuff. Like it quite a bit. That's a really, really strong track. And then over on side 2, you have the more kind of song-based, shorter songs. More, there's plenty of good pop on this album, but it's definitely drenched in that kind of progressive rock umbrella. Moonshine is a terrific song. Great vocal melodies. Again, Noel, terrific singer, really fits this music really fine. Moonshine kind of rocks too. Again, reminds me of the more rock-based tracks on Duke, like Misunderstanding or Turn It On Again. Same thing with Overnight Job, another really fun song from this album. Catchy, it's rocking. And then the ones in between, you got Time and Time Again, Romani. Romani's got lovely keyboard textures, and Every Road. Again, good, hook-laden, pop prog songs, very indicative of what Genesis were doing at the time. So there you have, you've got the long epic track, and then you've got the 5 shorter pieces. really flows well. Interesting artwork, right? If you haven't seen this before, the one thing I will say with this reissue is it's like really bare bones as far as like packaging goes. You basically get that doesn't even tell you who plays on it or anything, which kind of sucks. But what are you gonna do? But yeah, all titles written by Mike Rutherford, produced by David Henschel, spread sound, hit and run, original sound recording made by Charisma Records. Yeah, not a lot of info at all. I got a little bit of glare there, but I always thought it was pretty cool album cover by Hypnosis, of course. So yeah, so if you haven't previously gotten Mike Rutherford's first solo album and you are a Genesis fan, you've got this great sounding reissue that is now out for you to check out. So go ahead and do so. Really good album. I enjoy this album quite a bit. I think it's an easy 4 out of 5 star. Very enjoyable. One of the better solo albums from the Genesis members, and to me, it kind of foreshadows the direction he would go with Mike and the Mechanics a few short years later. Although that goes completely away from prog into straight pop territory, but you can kind of hear the beginnings of it on this album. But this album still is firmly has one foot in the prog door, right? So yeah, Smallcreep's Day by Mike Rutherford. Check it out if you haven't already. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. All together, all the damn time. We've got more new album reviews coming up for you today. Graham Bonnet Band, Wolfat, 0 Hour, may get to one or two others, not quite sure, but at least you're going to get those. So we got some pretty big heavy hitters today for you. So stay tuned for those and more here on the channel. This is on the web at www. I think I said that already. Yes, I did. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content. And we also have the links below in the video description to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, as well as our merch page where you can get all sorts of cool Sea of Tranquility shirts and things. And we'll see you real soon with more content. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.